I just saw like a lot of boxes like being moved out.
I noticed there was a couple guys inside. There was 3 cars besides the SUV, the gray one and another car parked on the road, and they were moving things out of there.
Surprise and confusion for people in Reedley after federal agents were spotted again at the site of the closed illegal biological lab. What the city of Reedley knows about yesterday's search and seizure and why it could be connected to another suspected lab found in Las Vegas over the weekend.
Following the latest release of files related to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes, the Justice Department is announcing that it's unlikely to file additional charges. How survivors of Epstein's alleged abuse are responding to this news and why Democratic lawmakers are now accusing the DOJ of violating the law.
House leaders are optimistic the lawmakers from both sides of the aisle will come together to reopen the government before week's end, but not everyone's on board.
So I think it's all of our responsibilities to reopen the government.
I'm not just a no, I'm a firm no, and I'm going to advocate with colleagues that they vote no.
Why some GOP members are now raising concerns about stipulations in the funding for the Department of Homeland Security, despite confidence from House Speaker Mike Johnson that the bill will pass quickly.
And it is Groundhog Day, everybody, and it looks like we got more of the same going on out there with all this fog happening again, especially at Highway 99 and Route 198 there in the South Valley here. Coming up, we're going to break down yet another dense fog advisory as we start this week, and we're pretty sure we're going to get a lot of foggy day schedules in here as well. But we do have some big changes on the way. We'll break all that down coming up in your Great Day forecast.
You're watching Fox 26, and now, Great Day.
Good morning. We begin this Groundhog Day with a live foggy look from above our Fox 26 News studio. Much like the film of the same name, the central San Joaquin Valley is once again in for the same foggy conditions we've experienced in the last few weeks. Justin will be giving us more information on any changes in this week's forecast, and after that, we'll reveal Punxsutawney Phil's latest prediction. Yeah, I promise you there's something behind that. It's just a fog. Good morning. Good start of the week to you. I'm Liz Gonzalez.
Where is Bill Murray when you need him? I'm Carl Cook.
And I'm Phil Connors. Thanks for joining us here.
What you did there.
It's Groundhog Day, everybody. And do we go ahead and just answer it now? Did the groundhog see the shadow? Do we just not spoil it?
I don't see why not.
Okay. Yes. Saw the shadow. And that means more
there we go.
There we go. So there you go. It means more winter. And yeah, we'll talk about that here later on. But right now, yeah, check it out here. This is what's happening. Current conditions, foggy, it's 50, and that's where the dew point is. All right, wind is at 3 miles an hour there for us as well. And here is the rest of the day at 10 a.m. Likely still foggy out there for us at noon, 53. And at 5 o'clock, it'll be 58 degrees, clearing skies as the day goes on. And the winds should be calm out there for us today. So, yeah. Groundhog saw a shadow. We're going to explain what that means in our forecast coming up.
Yeah, as he just mentioned, Punxsutawney Phil says that wintry weather is going to stick around a little longer. As a result, his handlers did say he saw a shadow. Last year, over 50,000 onlookers gathered at Gobbler's Knob to hear Phil's forecast, in which he predicted 6 more weeks of winter. A fun fact, Phil's predictions are carefully recorded, and he's predicted winter far more often than in early spring. He's predicted a longer winter 109 times, in early spring only 21 times. Now, over at Fresno Chaffee Zoo, Maple the groundhog made her own prediction, albeit a few days early. Maple had the choice of picking a winter or a spring box, and from the looks of it, she chose spring. This was her first ever forecast in Fresno, with the hopes of more to come. A fun fact, Maple is believed to be the only living groundhog forecasting in California. There is one other animatronic forecasting groundhog in Quincy by the name of Chuck Wood. While Maple is not native to the Golden State, she definitely has made Fresno her home. She's originally from Oregon.
All right, so Maple wants an early spring, but we got the Groundhog out back east saying that we got a late winter. So take your pick, right? But here, it's foggy out there. Here's a live look now at Highway 99 in Kingsburg right now. And the fog isn't terrible there, but it is going to be dropping here pretty good. In fact, we got some places that already have zero visibility out there for us, which we'll go over here in a moment here. But we are also expecting foggy day schedules out there today. So if you have a foggy day schedule, you can submit those to us. Very easy to do. Just go to KMPH.com and drop down to weather, click on school closings and submit your information that way, or you can view to see if you are on a foggy day schedule there as well. So very simple to do there. How are those visibilities looking? Well, check it out. We've got zero visibilities being reported up in Merced County, out in Reedley, down in Visalia, and really up and down that 99 corridor there. We're at a quarter-mile visibility in most other places. Madera, Fresno, Lemoore, Hanford, Porterville. Very foggy out there in a lot of places. We are expecting a lot of foggy day schedules to start rolling in. Another reminder, you can always look at the bottom of your screen. We do keep that updated there on the ticker. So if you have a foggy day schedule, you can look down there at any time during the broadcast and see if you're on it. Otherwise, yeah, dense fog advisory, as you might have guessed, that's in effect until today at noon. Yeah, for the entire valley. This again stretches from Kern County well up into Northern California, and we're going to be dealing with that today. Do I need to remind you to drive safely out there? Apparently, yes. We had a big accident over the weekend. All right, so the conditions continue to be right for fog out there. We've got troughing on either side of us, stagnant high pressure, and that dew point keeps reaching the temperature level there in the morning hours. So that's why we're at that. Now, we do have some high pressure that is hanging out in the Pacific. That's keeping our temperatures above normal. In fact, it'll intensify later this week, where we'll see some 70s possible in the valley later this week. They're very well above normal for us for that. Now, guess what? Rain is on the way and snow. Check this out. By this Friday, finally, something different, right? We got snow building, getting ready to come in early Friday morning there to the central southern Sierra there, and then it'll last really throughout the day there. Friday afternoon, it builds, spreads up in the northern Sierra there. You got rain going in the North Valley there. And right now, rain is kind of surrounding the valley, but we'll likely see some trickle in as the day goes. Friday evening, snow still going strong in the mountains. Some fresh stuff for you this weekend if you want to go to China Peak. And then Friday night, we could see some rain there, parts of the South Valley there, maybe Coalinga, Avenal, those areas. Looks like Porterville could see some rain out of that. And then we might see a little bit in Fresno County, not much, but any rain that we do get on the valley floor will likely be confined to the South Valley, but definitely getting some fresh snow up in the mountains there. Oh, what's this? Another round. Yeah, Sunday. Yeah, second round coming in Sunday, and that looks like a better chance of rain for us there. We'll continue to track that. Snow levels will likely drop on this one, as this one's coming from the north, and it'll be a much colder system. Temperature-wise, here's what we got for you. Today, we are above normal, mostly sunny after the fog, 62 at that time today, and tomorrow we're at 66. 65 on Wednesday, fog in the morning, sunny in the afternoon, 40s overnight. All right, coming up in just a bit here, we'll get a look at the highs and lows for today across the rest of the San Joaquin Valley.
Time is now 5:07. An illegal biological lab discovered years ago in Reedley, now back in the spotlight. That's after the FBI and Las Vegas Metro Police raided a house in Northeast Las Vegas that is a possible biolab as well. And there appears to be a solid connection. Early yesterday morning, FBI agents were spotted filing into the closed biological lab in Reedley. That's after the discovery on January 31st of a suspected biolab at a home in Las Vegas. Records show the two properties are owned by the same limited liability company, or LLC.
It did not surprise me that Vegas came up on this, because there were addresses linked to the gentleman who was running this illicit lab way back in 2023.
In October of 2023, the Justice Department arrested Jiabei Zhu, a 62-year-old Chinese citizen with many aliases. At one point, Zhu lived in Clovis. He was arrested on charges of manufacturing and distributing misbranded medical devices in violation of the Federal Food and Drug and Cosmetics Act, as well as making false statements to the Food and Drug Administration over pregnancy tests as well as COVID-19 tests. Zhu is also listed in property records as the owner of a Vegas home where the hazardous material teams began their investigation Saturday morning. We reached out to Reedley Police, but were told they could not confirm or deny anything. We also reached out to the attorney the attorney of the man who was arrested in ties to the Reedley biolab, but we did not hear back. Now, the investigation into the illegal lab in Reedley started months before the public even knew about it. In October of 2022, Fresno County and Reedley officials started tracking activity tied to a company that owned the lab. It was identified as Prestige Biotech. By December of that year, a Reedley code enforcement officer noticed that there was a green garden hose that was running through the wall of a warehouse that was supposed to be empty. That discovery triggered a deeper investigation. By March of 2023, local officials served a warrant at the warehouse. Emails later showed that county officials wanted to share information but were prevented from doing so by the California Department of Health and the FBI. It wasn't until July of 2023 that licensed contractors began removing biological and hazardous materials from the warehouse under court-approved warrants. By late July, most of the cleanup was complete and the public finally learned about the lab. The following month, county officials presented details of the investigation to the Fresno County Board of Supervisors. And a couple months after that, in January of 2024, Fresno County reached a $125,000 settlement with the warehouse owner. New ordinances were also proposed to better monitor privately operated labs. Meanwhile, Reedley's city manager, Nicole Ziba, who we heard from earlier, is calling the biological lab a national security concern. She says that warnings about the unregulated biological materials that had been raised in 2023 were largely ignored by federal authorities.
What is concerning to me is that we raised the issue way back in 2023 and beyond about the national security issue with these biologicals. These could be anywhere in this country. Congressman Costa and Congressman Kiley, so a Democrat and a Republican, ran legislation to try to close some loopholes here, and Congress did not pay attention. The administration back in D.C. did not pay attention. And so I'm desperately hoping that what's happening in Vegas right now alerts some people in D.C. to the fact that we have got to take national security seriously when it comes to biologicals. I'm hoping we have the right people in place this time because we were not paid attention to last time.
She tells us the man arrested in connection with the lab is expected to go to trial this April. She now joins several lawmakers urging Congress to take action. Speaking of lawmakers, Congressman Kevin Kiley posted to X yesterday saying that Congress must pass my bill to find these illegal labs and shut them all down. The bill he is referring to is called the Preventing Illegal Laboratories and Protecting Public Health Act of 2025. He, along with Valley Congressman David Valadeo and Jim Costa, reintroduced the legislation. It aims to address gaps in federal law that allow the illegal lab in Reedley to operate without proper licensing. The Department of Justice now hinting additional charges in the Jeffrey Epstein case are unlikely to be filed, while survivors of Epstein's alleged abuse say they're now feeling betrayed by the government. Time is now 5:11.
Hi, I'm Monty Torres of Fox 26 News on YouTube. Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel, where we have loads of great content for you to choose from. And while you're here, why not click on the subscribe button right here? That way you can stay in touch with all the latest breaking news, everything news related within the Central Valley. And thank you for watching.